We're getting ready to show you the best kept secret in strength training right now. The kettlebell swing was introduced to me first through the writings of Pavel and what I learned through RKC, and then by my RKC instructor, Brett Jones, who's probably going to critique the heck out of my swing right here. But basically, we're taking that hip hinge, that grinding movement of the deadlift, we're shortening the arc, but increasing the speed. And I think we've learned that motor learning carries over into sport and activity if it's done at or near the speed of competition. That's what we're trying to achieve here, but the difference is we're generating power, transferring it through the shoulder. We're not trying to generate it at the shoulder. The shoulder ends up being in the middle of that power curve. Talk a little bit more about the swing.
The swing is connecting to the ground, drawing energy and producing energy through the legs, hips, core, through the shoulder, projecting energy out. If you don't have good shoulder stability and you're not stable at the speed of competition, this is going to happen. You're going to destabilize, you're going to deconnect, you're going to miss out on just so much power. It's just a power leakage. Everything comes loose. So the swing is one of those moves that, yeah, it's a lot of momentum, it's a lot of power, it's a lot of speed, but that's where we move in life. So we're going to get Gray in position over the kettlebell. And you're going to see that he's going to set up very similar that he did to the deadlift position. So he's going to push back into his hips. And if we had the stick right now, you would see pretty much same position. So hips are, feet are shoulder widths, hip widths apart. So we're in good position, back's well maintained. The breathing, we're going to sniff air in, use that diaphragm on the way down. We're going to blow out on the way up. Gray's going to get that kettlebell in his hands. It's going to swing back, and then it's going to be projected forward with his hips. Happy face. So now we're swinging. And what's happening is that bell's wanting to pull out against his shoulders. That rotator cuff magic is happening, pulling into the glenoid. The rhomboids and the shoulders, scapular stabilizers are having to fire to keep the shoulders in position. Everything starts to work at a very dynamic, powerful pace. And that transfer of energy that's so important. If you talk to a martial artist or a boxer, and it's somebody that punches for a living, they know that they can only punch as hard as this joint can stabilize. And your body will actually down-regulate your power because it knows your joint isn't up to the challenge. So this is a great way to start training that transfer of energy and keep everything going along. Now, Gray's a big guy, big strong guy, big broad across the chest. That can be a hard position. We can actually start to encourage almost some bad shoulder position because we're getting both hands on the handle. What I'm going to do is hand Gray a towel, and we're going to let him get those shoulders back into better position by giving him a towel. The tricky thing is it also makes his swing better. So once this is threaded through, and Gray grabs the towel, and I step out of the way, Gray's going to start swinging using the towel. Now it's very easy to keep the shoulders back and to maintain good position because he doesn't have to bring his arms forward into that caved-in position. And that looks great. So we just got a lot of power drawing from the ground there. And I think it speaks highly of the swing and what you're able to accomplish with it that orthopedic, physical therapist, manual therapist such as yourself looks at it and goes, I like that.
I do like that, and I think one of the things that happened at RKC is people said, Brett, you do a lot of deadlifting and you also do grip strength exhibitions. What do you do?
Swings.
What do you do for your cardio or your endurance?
Swings.
Got it. How about your hip and core strength?
Swings.
Posture?
Swings.
Got it. I think sometimes as exercise professionals, whether it be rehab or fitness or strength conditioning, we feel the obligation to give people this unbelievably huge menu of really neat and innovative things. Get good at something. If you think about people like Bruce Lee and star athletes, they do one thing really, really well, and they do it really well not by diversity, but by focus, dialing in and getting perfect with something.
There's a great saying we use in the kettlebell community. It's that the elite are simply better at the basics than everybody else. And it's very true. You take boxing, for example. You got a hook, you got an uppercut, you got a jab, you got a cross. One of those 4 punches is coming at you. Nobody's invented anything else since in boxing, but that's the sweet science, is how you're putting those 4 things together. You don't need 500 moves. You got to do those 4 well. The swing is one of those moves.
Athlete or client, they come to you, you're doing a lot of basic stuff, they're begging about variety. But I tell you what, if they're getting everything else, compliments on the way they look or the way they perform, if everything else is happening, they're getting stronger and everything's happening, they're not going to ask for the variety because you're giving them everything and they're not calling the shots, you are.
When you can start to take away somebody's, what we've come to know as RDD, routine deficit disorder, they start to get comfortable with the fact that they're getting results. The workout doesn't become a goal unto itself. The results are what you're after. The workout is just a way to get there, and you got to get good at something in order to get results from it.
Show us swings the way they're supposed to be done. Watch how much more crisp his movements are. His shoulders working less, his hips and core are working more, but his scapular retractors are perfect, better breath and better grip. It's a difference. He's been doing it for a few years, but start and get good at this. This is his cardio, his strength training, how he gets a stronger deadlift, how his grip gets good, and how he maintains posture.